All right. Well, Ron, here we are. We are now counting down the days until training camp starts up. We've got media day kicking off around the NBA. Everything is right around the corner, yet we still have news. Unfortunately, we've got some bad news to start off with. Hopefully, this is not a sign of things to come for the season. Knee surgery for Robert Williams, Celtics center, that is so critical to what they do on the defensive end of the floor. His ability to get out and cover on the perimeter, block shots, of course, he's incredible at that. And now undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery, 4 to 6 week timeline here. Ron, what does this mean for the Celtics? Do you think they need to make a move to try to address Robert Williams going out, or is this just, hey, weather the storm and he'll be back soon enough? How do you see this?
Normally with an injury like this, with a 4 to 6 week recovery timeline, a week before training camp even starts, you would just say weather the storm, get through it, not a big deal. The Celtics in particular have a bit of a lack of depth at the center position. They have Al Horford, who they used more as a wing last year. They kind of really lack depth at the center position, so it wouldn't be surprising if they were to bring someone in, maybe even off just a 10-day contract or something, a non-guaranteed contract, just to weather the storm, get them through the Robert Williams injury, and maybe keep that player on. Look, Robert Williams, as great of a player as he is, does have an injury history. And so having a backup center that is serviceable is not the worst thing in the world. Now, you could go small for the whole season, but it would be better to have that insurance policy. So maybe that's something they do there. I really have no idea, though. They could just weather the storm and play small until Robert Williams gets back. They're a talented enough team to do it for a short period of time.
Still some big name veterans out there on the market that can man the center position. You think of LaMarcus Aldridge, you think of Blake Griffin, of course, Dwight Howard, Hassan Whiteside, all of these guys still floating around out there that could be put into the Celtic system and give you some serviceable minutes there if needed. But again, best case, if it's only 4 weeks, he could potentially be back for opening night for the Boston Celtics. So we'd be cutting it real close. And I don't think this early in the season you push it, but we could only be talking about, in terms of regular season games, what, a handful at most of missed games. So I think that has to factor into the Celtics decision as well.
Yeah, and I think that'll be up to the, Celtics medical team to decide, hey, this might be closer to 4, or this actually might be longer than 6. It's going to be a conversation between them and the front office to decide sort of which direction they go with it as training camp gears up. I mean, there's only a week left. This is kind of the last stand before you actually try to finalize what that roster is going to look like when you take the court opening night.
But it's certainly not what you want to hear from an NBA perspective, from a Celtics
No.
perspective, that Robert Williams already suffering an injury. He's an exciting young player, blocks a ton of shots, always has some highlight reel plays, and unfortunately sounds like he's going to be out of action for a bit here. Could miss a little bit of time in the regular season as well. We'll see if there is a follow-up move here by the Celtics to try to address this need at the center position.